Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm showing you guys the tips because I had to whip out the smaller sizes. So we've got slightly smaller surface to actually do the nails. I'm actually running out of my stiletto tips and I have placed an order, but I'm worried because I don't think it's going to come on time and I'm just dying to keep creating designs and I have no tips. So I'm hoping that the content isn't going to slow down. So pray for me that they will come on time. But with today's nail design, it's mainly focused around the 3D/4D carving gels. So it feels like I haven't picked them up in a whole wild time. And I've actually, in the meantime, ordered a bunch of colors. I was planning to do a full-on video about them. And I've kind of postponed it because I've noticed that you can't actually get them on AliExpress anymore. I keep checking and I'll continue checking. And I'm just worried because I'm not sure if it's any good to actually show you guys the different colors and I don't know, the stuff you can maybe do with them if you can't buy them. So I might have to find a different brand, try them out, buy a bunch of colors, and then kind of show you guys the possibilities of what you can make with them and the colors, so you guys can basically help you guys pick out the colors you want. But yeah, so I used to use the 3D/4D carving gels quite often, and then I've just kind of put in the back burner, and I've noticed I haven't done a nail design using those, and I was like, yes, okay, today is the day we're going to use them. So I've decided to pick up a grey from Madame Glam. It's one of the newer greys that they have in one of their recent collections. So it was like the perfect grey that I had imagined for today's design. And I also have this gorgeous glitter. It's holographic, kind of like a silver glitter. It's gorgeous. The rainbow on this glitter is beautiful. Beautiful. I get my glitters from Larissa. I'll have a link in the description. I believe it should save you guys some sort of money. Check the description out and you will see, I'll leave a little comment there to tell you how much it's gonna save you. So I've put 2 layers on. I've sprinkled on some glitter on a full nail there, and we've cured all of these. So would you believe it? I'm actually doing straight lines on camera. So I've actually whipped out a different nail art brush, which is a super long one, and it's a game changer. And I don't know why I hadn't done it any sooner. I was just being a silly Billy. But now that I've whipped it out, it's been literally a game changer. So if you also got this one favorite nail art brush that you just swear by, just like I did, and I just would refuse to do any other brushes, to do any other sort of things, try to break out of the habit. Because honestly, it will make your life so much easier. It definitely has for me for straight lines. And look, I'm actually able to do somewhat of a straight line on camera for you all, rather than having to go off camera, because it took me a few tries to get it straight with my tiny little brush compared to this one. So yeah, make sure you get the super long ones for lines. So I do end up kind of cleaning it up a little bit off camera, and then I did pop it into the lamp for 60 seconds. So I did use my Glitter Bells Unbelievable Gel to do that. I love that stuff for nail art. I also have a link down in the description for that website. So now that it is cured, I'm going to have 2 nails that are going to be identical but flipped. So we're going to have 2 4D flower nails, and we're also going to do some snowflake stamping on those and all of that beautiful stuff. So I'm going to start off with my crystal placement. This is going to be the center of the flower. So what I usually like to do is place a semi-big crystal in the center, on the right hand side or the left hand side, depending what side you want to make your flower. And then I like to surround them with smaller crystals, so it's completely up to you with how big of a crystal you want to use, especially as today we're using, I think it was a size 5 from the Macart stiletto nails. It was a much more smaller surface than I usually use. I usually use 0, 1s, 2s and 3s, 4s. 5 and 6s are kind of my SOS when I run out of the normal sizes. So it's a little bit smaller than usual, although you probably won't be able to tell because I zoomed in the video a little bit, so it doesn't look as tiny as it kind of felt for me when I was making the video. So here, as you can see, I'm running out of my white, but luckily I have one more little pot, so I won't run out of the white too quickly. And I'm going to make balls on my hand using my finger, and I'm going to make 5 balls. You want to make 3 slightly smaller balls, kind of next to each other, you'll see in a second, and then 2 larger balls. One's going to go right at the top and one's going to go right at the bottom. And the reason you want to make those larger is because we're actually going to make a larger petal. We're going to try and like kind of elongate it. We're going to really try and mimic what nail techs do with acrylic when they do the flowers. They always kind of do the 3 normal kind of semicircle petals, and then the 2, well, one at the top, one at the bottom petal is kind of one of those long pointy petals. I hope that makes sense. So as you can see, I'm still using quite a fair bit of the carving gel, which is absolutely fine. So here's my little liquid. I got these little containers on Amazon. I'll try and link them. They're literally the best thing. Before, I had this massive bottle with a massive hole, and it was so hard to just get a little bit on my little lint-free wipe. And now that I've got that, it's literally a game changer. So the blue liquid that I'm using is Miley Nail Prep liquid, I think. I'll have that linked as well in the description. I'll try and link as much stuff as possible for you so you don't have to go searching. And it's literally so great. You dip it in there and it just makes sure that your silicone tool does not get sticky to the carving gel. So as you can see, I started off with kind of tapping down on the carving gel on like a, I don't know, 45-degree angle, I guess. And then once I've done that, I went back in there and pressed harder down to create my little shape. So here I'm working on those pointy ones. I feel like I still haven't mastered it completely. It's still a work in progress. It's quite hard, at least for me. It might be a bit more natural for maybe someone who does acrylic, but it's quite difficult to master it with, especially using the silicone tool. I'm not quite sure if there's other ways or other tools that you can use with this carving gel. I haven't gone searching myself. I've kind of, I think, seen one video. They were using a silicone tool, and I've just stuck with it, and it does work for sure, as you can see. So there's the two flowers. So I'm only going to show you one now. The other one is literally identical but flipped. So here I've got my Moyu London White Night gel polish, one of them actually my newer gel polish. I've noticed that I got only a white in Born Pretty, so when Moyu was having a sale, I was like, yes please, I will pick up that polish. And here we also have my Moyu London stamping jelly, and it's literally amazing. I highly recommend it. I feel like if you watched my video, you know I was complaining about it when I first opened it because I was so shocked how little it was, but amazing. It's like one of the best stampers I've ever tried. It's so kind of sticky and jelly like, and I love it. It works so well. So I've got my clear jelly stamper plate here with a bunch of snowflakes, and I'm just going to mix and match, pick out any snowflakes I want and all of that stuff, and just stamp it on the corners that we've got left. So you know me, I like when the nails are super busy, and clearly those flowers were not enough. I've really wanted to make it a Christmassy set, incorporating those 3D flowers, so I obviously had to do some extra stuff, which are those snowflakes. So I'm only going to show you one nail again here. The other one I will do off camera. And then since this is a polish, you don't need to cure this, you just have to apply a top coat, which we will in just a second. And we are going to use a matte top coat today, and the matte top coat we're using is of course from Venalisa. Love that top coat so much. So much. And also with the stamper, since it's super clear, it's so easy to record and actually see through it. Like, so easy. I need to film a video of kind of tips and tricks, or maybe like the basics of what you need to start stamping, and that jelly stamper would definitely be in there, because before, if you watch my content, you know I was stamping with a clear jelly stamper, and it had this gorgeous glitter, which at the time of buying I didn't think it was going to impact me as much as it has. It's actually quite difficult to stamp, even though it's very scattered and you still can see through it. There's nothing that beats a super clear, fully clear stamper. So now that that's applied, I kind of let it dry for a little bit, and now it's time for the top coat. So I'm going to top coat all 4 nails. We're going to start off with the flowers because I didn't want to put any top coat on the flowers, so I'm going to pick them up individually and apply the top coat around those, and then start applying the top coat across the whole 2 of those last nails that we got going on there. I'm going to pop it into the lamp, and we are going to carry on with the nail art design. So next up, we're going to use more of the Unbelievable gel to do some dots, to do some extra little detailing. Since it cures tack free, I really wanted to kind of incorporate it and give it some extra little sparkle. So we're going to do just some random dots. It was clearly not enough on this nail. I needed more and more. So I'm just going to scatter some dots. I literally scatter either just the 1, or I do 2 next to each other, or even 3 next to each other. Whatever feels right. It will probably depend on how large of a nail bed you're working on. If you're recreating it just for fun, for your nail art journey on stiletto tips, then I'm sure you'll be able to include more dots. It might even be that you can't include any if you're working on a client with tiny little nail beds. Well, tiny little nails. It doesn't have to be the nail bed, depending on the length of the nail, and you might not be able to include the dots, which is also absolutely fine. They're just that extra little detail to add, because obviously I'm a bit crazy and I needed it to be a bit more fuller. So that's how we're gonna leave those. Unbelievable gels have obviously other colors, and I always stick to the white and blacks, but I decided to dig into some other colors, so we're going to use that in just a second. It's already chilling in the background. I don't know if you can see, it's a gorgeous kind of silvery color. It's beautiful. But in the meantime, we're going to work on our 4 grey nail that we've got going on, and I'm going to reapply the grey only to kind of the top half of the nail. It doesn't have to be strictly half. It can be slightly less than half, slightly more, depends what you want to do. And then we're going to sprinkle on some of that holographic glitter on top of it again, and then we will cure it. And then once it's out, I'm going to use a brush to just get rid of all that glitter that didn't end up getting stuck there. There we are. And that way you've got a nice sharp line without having to dig into any nail art brushes and, you know, all of that stuff. So now we're going to do some detailing where we're going to do a heart and a star with our unbelievable gel from Glitterbels. And unfortunately for me, I wanted this way lower, and I ended up doing it a bit too high. So I wanted this much lower. What I'm going to do once they're done, I'm going to connect them to the top where the glitter starts with 2 lines, as if they're kind of like maybe like ornaments, baubles kind of hanging down. And unfortunately, we are also going to do like a glue on like this big charm bow thing going on, and because of how chunky that was, it ended up covering up a bit of my art. There it is. And we're about to place a bow right in the center where the glitter and the normal gel polish meets, and unfortunately it didn't really plan out how I wanted it. So if you're going to recreate it, make sure you put your heart and your star way lower than I just did, because now you notice when we apply the bow, it's actually going to cover it up. There we go. The star's almost non-existent. I was trying to play with it and just kind of push it a bit more higher, so it ended up getting glued on top of the glitter, which is not really what I wanted, but it just had to do. It just had to do. There we go. I kept poking it. So now that that's curing, I'm going into that silver, and look how pretty that color. They've got so many colors, and I have a bunch of them. I just don't know why. I just stick to the whites and the blacks, but I have got another nail design coming up that I've used some purple from there, so they're literally great. If you're into nail art, they're just amazing. You don't need to be a nail tech to buy them, which is another amazing thing, and they're super fun. And I've noticed that if you don't use them for a long time, they do end up separating, but that's absolutely no problem. Just make sure you mix them up and they're good to go, basically. So don't be frightened if you ever buy them. Leave them for a little while because you didn't pick them up, and then it kind of like, you can see like the oils kind of separating, so don't worry, just mix it up and you'll be all good. So I'm just going to follow where the white lines are, and I cured it for another minute, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked it. It was so fun making today's video. I love this nail design. I love literally doing those 4D or 3D, I don't know what they're called, flowers. They're so pretty, it's so cute, and I hope you guys liked it. So if you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would absolutely love to see you in my next video. Bye guys!